Welcome back to Grandstand Court as the Seattle Pioneers getting set to take on the SoCal Hard Eights in women's doubles. I'm Dorian Kraft alongside Atlanta Bouncers head coach Chad Edwards. Chad, what should we expect to see in this matchup?
Well, again, I think we're going to see some fast play here. Pioneers are going to try to put some pressure on Yule and Rejkowska. So already Padiga-Maite with a couple of third shot drives, one deep from Yule, one into the net from Rejkowska.
Oh, big swing on the overhead put away.
Yeah, that one's not coming back. Good angle there from Jana Newell.
Padiga-Maite trying to lean over to take it, catches the tape.
Yeah, just tried to rush that one a little bit. You sort of stand up in the mid motion there, hits the top of the ball instead of the bottom.
Fudge with the forehand put away. SoCal won the toss, so they decided to react. And it was Seattle that chose to go women's doubles first in this match. Great decision there by Padiga-Maite, and you heard Fudge tell her to go. She recognized it was the right moment.
Yeah, and it was a good setup from Fudge. Creates the pop-up. Padiga-Maite, big forehand. Newell was all over it, but took a little bit too big of a backswing.
That time Newell moving forward, can't quite come up with the shot.
Yeah, it's difficult to try to reset or even make a quality shot while your feet are still moving there.
Padiga-Maite cuts it too fine on the cross-court dink.
Yeah, just tries to go for a little too much spin there. You sort of brush up the back, tries to accelerate through it, but doesn't catch enough ball.
Fudge maybe caught watching a little bit. That ball right into her hip.
Yeah, it's a good spot there from Rejkowska. Fudge stepping into the middle there, takes one step to the line. Rejkowska just goes right into the middle of the body.
Newell with the easy put away. There's a lot of power in a small size frame.
She does have a lot of power, and it's a good compact swing as well. The difference in that firefight between Padiga-Maite and the Hard Eights is the length of the backswing.
And not a lot of time up at the kitchen line. You have to keep it compact. Too big has been the phrase of the day so far here on Grandstand.
Yeah, trying to do too much or going too big.
Oh, some crazy points to start this off. Both sides absolutely firing.
Yeah, it's good pressure here from the Hard Eights. They've now gone to Padiga-Maite as their main target, and they're coming out on the top of these firefights.
Hear Megan Fudge say better.
Yeah, Padiga-Maite took those balls a little bit earlier, put some pressure on Rejkowska. Rejkowska tried to roll that one a little bit too much, trying to rush.
Newell was hunting that foot of Megan Fudge, but got the tape instead.
Yeah, we'll see the paddle go just a little too far back behind the body here on the forehand. hits down on top of it.
Court, match 2. It's time to learn about
7-all.
stepping onto the court. First up, we are going to introduce the St. Louis Shock GM Ross Chaffetz. First up, from Spain, now living in Louisiana, we have Judith Castillo Galalabo. Go! Next, we got
That's a great effort there by Padiga Maite, but couldn't quite come up with a backhand dig.
Yeah, the double bounce on the top of the net there created some issues. Brought that ball even closer to the net as it dropped down.
Next up, we got Jeannie Arokina. Right now, out of Escalada, California, originally from Moscow, Russia. And we got first overall pick, Challenger League.
Fudge thought it was out. Looks like the call is in. And she's asking the referees if they saw it.
I think they're going to challenge this one. I did see Pat Smith on the sidelines there say, yes, that ball was in to his teammates.
When your own teammate is telling you that the ball is in, you feel like you can trust them a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it will stand as in 9-7 SoCal.
We got first up Brooke Buckner, Ann Arbor's finest, originally from Cleveland.
Padiga Maite pushes the dink wide.
Yeah, again, good pressure from Rechkowska. Goes to the right foot.
We got somebody special, young gun.
See a switch here.
Gabriel Tario. Tell me what's going on. Let me know the skinny, because we got something here. His name is Jordan Kinney. This guy living in Knoxville, Tennessee, originally from Wisconsin.
Fudge able to get the point. Do you like the decision here by Seattle to switch up Fudge and Padiga Maite?
Yeah, just to give a different look, to kind of get SoCal out of their rhythm, their cross-court rhythm, going, if they do try to go at Padiga Maite, they're now going in front for Rechkowska.
Rechkowska finds Padiga Maite as SoCal takes an 11-8 lead into the end change.
Yeah, I think the difference here has just been the consistency for Seattle. A couple of missed balls, but the majority of time they've been putting the pressure on, I'm sorry, for SoCal, not Seattle, for SoCal, putting the pressure on Seattle and Padiga Maite in particular, moving her around, throwing off her timing. I think we'll see Fudge and Padiga Maite potentially make a change here, because we can switch sides during a timeout or an end change. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't put Fudge on the left, Padiga Maite on the right.
Is SoCal seeing something in Padiga Maite's game that they're trying to exploit, or are they trying to stay away from Megan Fudge?
Well, a little bit they're trying to stay away from Megan. And initially it was they were trying to stay away from Megan Fudge, because Fudge is much better defensively and consistently. Padiga Maite has the power, but she has to get an elevated ball or an extended ball. When they were going for that, then they found that Padiga Maite was off a little bit. So interesting that they didn't switch sides. They just chose to stack and come out of it.
Rechkowska rips the winner.
Brandon, how do you feel about this matchup?
Yeah, and then this ball here again from Padiga Maite. She gets jammed up. A good speed up from Rechkowska.
A bit of a hometown tournament for Rechkowska. Lives in Atlanta. As Newell caught in the transition zone, couldn't do anything with it.
So the Pioneers coming in and out of the stack. Switching up Padiga Maite and Fudge on the left and right.
The St. Louis Shock won the coin toss. They chose to react. First off, we got women's
Good decision there from Newell. You could hear her saying, bounce it, as Padiga Maite sails it long.
Yeah, hand's just too good for SoCal right now. Padiga Maite is really having a tough time fighting these balls off.
Fudge finds some room cross court for the point.
Yeah, it's a good change of direction there. Good change of direction there for Padiga Maite.
Seattle still trailing by 3. Padiga Maite, the ball didn't come up the way she thought it would.
Yeah, it looks like it caught a little bit of the line, but also with how heavy the topspin was from Radzikowska right there.
You got in the crowd right now, Julie Johnson.
And SoCal leading 14-10 in the opening game of this Group C match between the SoCal Hard Eights and Seattle Pioneers. SoCal will face the St. Louis Shock next. Radzikowska just all over those balls at the kitchen line.
Yeah, another couple of good shots there from Radzikowska. She jams up Padiga Maite, going tight into the body, and then follows Padiga Maite's movement.
And Noel comes up a little short, trying to drop it in the kitchen. Fudge forces the error from Newell.
Yeah, Newell just a little early on that counter punch off of the drive from Fudge.
Newell trying to speed it up and ends up catching the tape.
Yeah, 2 errors back to back for Newell. That one, body's moving to the left as she's trying to hit to the right.
Fudge can't get to it. What an angle from Radzikowska.
Yeah, too good of an angle there. That ball bounces almost in the kitchen, or in the kitchen.
Exploiting the middle. It's now a 4-point lead for SoCal.
Yeah, take a timeout here from the Pioneers. It's a good timeout, but an excellent shake and bake there from the SoCal Hard Eights. Radzikowska comes up, Newell drives it right into the body of Padiga Maite.
Right now, this game being dominated by SoCal. Chad, what does Seattle need to do to find a little bit of rhythm here and work their way back into the game?
Well, one thing is Padiga Maite is getting jammed up. She's either taking too big of swings or she's letting that ball get too close to the body. Again, where she's at best is when she's extended, but
Here we go, player.
I'd like to see her kind of, try to reset a couple of these balls rather than trying to counter, because anytime she's countering, she's not getting a good swing on it. She's giving an easier ball back.
And there's something to be said for making your opponent play another shot.
Game 1, time in. 0-0.
So Fudge and Padiga Maite making the full switch now. Putting Fudge on the left.
You like the decision by Fudge and Padiga Maite to switch here?
Yeah, I do. I think Fudge is going to get more balls with her staying on the left.
Newell with the error.
Point.
14-17.
2-0.
Oh,
Yikes.
painting the line. Wow, Newell.
Pocket Rocket, Mighty Mouse, whichever one you want to go with.
I think all of them are effective. Wow.
Point.
Absolutely punishing those balls. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just too good from Newell right now. And the errors that she's made is when she was trying to go a little bit softer. When she's feeling and she's aggressive, like those last 3 shots that she just made there.
How about the hands for Newell, though? She is everywhere.
Yeah, and an excellent reset in the middle of that point. The ball was down. She didn't try to attack it from down up, got herself back into the point, or got them back into the point.
Seattle able to fight off 1 game point.
Yeah, that's where Pedigamite is dangerous. It's the balls that she can get extended on. That's where she gets her power from. Once the balls are into the body, it's much more difficult for her to put a good swing on.
Point. Q5.
Seattle earning another point off the forehand wing of Radzikowska. Still with work to do, trailing by 4 here in game number 1. Fudge comes up short. Have to win on serve. Seattle continuing to chip away here against the SoCal Hard Eights.
Yeah, good pressure there from Pedigamite. The freeze is gone. Do still have to win on your serve.
7-3.
Big forehand through the middle from Pedigamite.
Yeah, it's a good spot right there. Neil gets a little bit too far behind and a little too extended on the backhand side.
Seattle trailing now by 2.
4-7.
Great decision there from Newell to go right at the feet of Fudge.
Newell and Radzikowska facing game, well, with a game point here again. They just need to stay under control.
5-7.
Third time's the charm for Newell and Radzikowska as they take the women's doubles game here in this first game between the Seattle Pioneers and the SoCal Hard Eights.
Yeah, just too strong there from SoCal. Newell and Radzikowska found their target early on, and Pedigamite really put the pressure on, jammed her up, went into the body, didn't allow her to really get extended on any balls. Fudge and Pedigamite made the switch to put Fudge on the left later on. They kept it close, but were never able to really gain enough momentum and enough traction to even put a whole lot of pressure on SoCal right there.
SoCal jumps out to the early lead going up against the Seattle Pioneers here in Group C. Men's doubles on deck next. Chad, who do you like in this particular matchup?
Yeah, I think my X factors for both here for SoCal is going to be CJ Klinger. He's been playing really well the last few months, but what it's going to come down to for Klinger is how active he can be and whether he's going to step in and speed those balls up. For my X factor for Seattle is going to be Pat Smith. He's been playing well as of late as well. He's got a little something to prove. He was not originally in the Seattle Pioneers. He was picked up after Brandon French was out with an injury.
Pat Smith playing with the remnants of a little bit of an injury himself. Slipped on court at TOC 5 weeks ago, suffered a concussion. Still working his way back, said prior to this match. Still has a little bit of neck stiffness, but feeling well.
Yeah, and it's always a tough one, you know, especially one with falling on the court, but two receiving a concussion from it, you have a tendency to move a little bit more tentatively. And I actually made a joke to him. I said, "Hey, you got to stop moving so fast on the court." And he's like, "Yeah, 39. That doesn't count for me." Anyways, he's like, maybe 15 years ago I was moving fast on the court.
Well, this day 1 of season 2 of MLP presented by Margaritaville here in Atlanta, Georgia. In our opening match on Grandstand Court. It was the New York Hustlers that topped the Milwaukee Mashers.
I had the opportunity of being on the call for one of Todd Folt's matches in San Clemente. And I have to say, he impressed me there. He was ripping balls and super aggressive, but everything was landing in. So it could be an interesting partnership here with Folt and Klinger for SoCal. And then Burrows for Seattle Pioneers. He'll surprise you as well. Got some extremely fast hands.
Burrows, 36 years old, out of Costa Mesa, California, makes his current home in Los Angeles. And CJ Klinger, one of the younger players on tour, going up against Burrows and Smith, both in their 30s. Does age and experience play a factor here?
Typically, I would say yes. With CJ Klinger, no. Klinger has been around pickleball, I think, for at least 6 years now, 5-6 years.
Traveling around in the Vida tournaments.
Yeah.
Going the homeschool, or did the homeschool route.
Come on, Pat.
17 years old. Time in on game number 2 here in men's doubles. Burrows rather, going right at the body of Fote to start off.
Yeah, a good step in and drive there from Burrows.
Start out, point 14.
Pat Smith's ready to go.
Yeah, I like that speed up from Fote right there. You got it elevated, but a good job from Smith getting on top of it. Gets it behind Fote.
Fote able to handle.
You're good. No worries.
Yeah, nice and smooth there from Fote. Short, compact swing. Oh, that's disgusting.
Friendly net cord off of the backhand slice.
Heavy backspin, then catches even more backspin catching the net cord. Yeah, that's what we'll be looking for from Klinger there. Good step in. Big forehand finish.
Smith went to speed it up, caught the top of the tape instead.
Yeah, good job from Fote there in the middle of that point, coming through transition, just blocks the ball down at his feet, gets it down.
Start out, point 8. 8-13.
Great defense by Smith, turns it into the inside-out forehand winner.
Cool, calm, and collected there for Pat Smith. A few years ago, the ATP defense, you would say, oh, it's amazing they get 1 out of 6 back.
Another winner up the middle.
Yeah, that ball just a little too high off the inside out from Fote. Doesn't give him enough time to recover back middle. Good job from Burrows finding that hole.
Klinger goes long off the paddle, as now Seattle doubles up SoCal 6-3. Oh, Smith finding every single spot on this court for points.
Yeah, he doesn't try to overhit that one. Kind of medium pace, heavy topspin, gets that ball to drop inside the baseline. Was close, though.
Fote couldn't quite get what he wanted with that shot.
Yeah, there's some hesitation there from Fote.
Oh, Smith down the line for the winner. How well is he playing right now?
Oh, he's not overhitting. You know, it's all at 60–70%. Staying nice and relaxed. He's been in these positions before. As soon as we say something good about him, though, he jumps up and puts one deep.
So whose fault was the broadcaster jinx, yours or mine?
Both. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take onus for it.
Point. Cute. Timeout stop. 12:15, 1 minute.
Another heavy backspin. This time Burrows can't get the friendly roll.
Yeah, good pressure there from Fote. A couple of inside-out forehands, pushing that ball wider.
Eric, how you guys doing today? We're doing real good. Oh yeah, teeing up, but you know what? We love the heat. Teeing up on court 2. Let's go. Court 2, but also championship. Yeah!
Smith tried to speed it up, can't get it over the net.
Yeah, and that's a tougher ball when it's right in the middle of your body. The paddle head drops straight down. And you try to change direction, it's a little bit flatter.
That was a healthy rip from Smith.
Klinger trying to step up and put some pressure on, but just not in the position to be able to do anything with it.
10-6 Seattle.
15 seconds. Yeah, come on.
Some miscommunication in the middle makes it 11-6 Pioneers at the end change.
Yeah, a little, whoa. Hey, Megan, that didn't hurt our ears at all. Megan Fudge walked into the court mic right there. She was going out to give high fives to her teammates.
So we've had a player get into the court mic. We've had Teoni get into the signage and the cameras already.
Yeah, I mean, these players are just trying to take the court apart right now.
Seattle out to an 11-6 lead. Chad, what's impressed you most about the Pioneers so far?
I mean, they're just staying under control, but they're being aggressive, but it's a controlled aggression. They're putting pressure on, but they're not, you know, in reality, getting up above that 60, 70, 80% max as far as trying to hit with power. Right now, it's just it's calm, it's cool, it's collected. There's a little miscommunication between the SoCal Hard Eights in the middle right now.
There's an easy put away for Klinger as that ball elevated a bit.
Yeah, Smith saying my bad right there. They're probably not the best spot for that speed up.
No. More.
Smith, forehand sails long.
Yeah, and the same with that one. Fote hits a heavy topspin ball here. Smith trying to volley that with an open face.
3 consecutive errors out of the end change by Seattle makes it a 2-point game. SoCal battling back here in the men's doubles. Make it a 10-11 as that catches the tape.
Yeah, a little momentum shift here for SoCal.
What's been the difference for SoCal in the last 4 points?
Well, I was going to say they're the ones putting the pressure on right now. As we see Fote and Klinger continue it. Another good drive there from Fote. And what's so difficult about it, it's got late movement. It drops down below the net. If you catch that with anything but a flat paddle, that ball's going to go up. And Burrows trying to do too much there on the backhand side. So a good timeout here from the Pioneers. Trying to slow this momentum.
SoCal has ripped off 6 straight points to take a 12-11 lead. It's their first lead of the game. Chad, you mentioned that SoCal a little bit more aggressive. They're applying more pressure. What does Seattle need to do to counter that?
Well, exactly what they need to do is counter down. They try. We've seen a couple of the counters. One from Burrows there go out wide. Smith had a counter where that paddle face was open. The balls have floated on him a little bit. Just go with that flatter paddle. Doesn't have to be heavy pace, but just get that ball down to the feet of Folt and Klinger as they're trying to come forward.
Big point there for Seattle.
Yeah, and a good setup there from Smith. Pulls that ball out wide to the backhand side of Klinger. Creates that pop-up, finds the hole in the middle with that next forehand.
And Burrows was there but couldn't make the play.
And Burrows was anticipating Klinger trying to attack into the body there. Was sitting a little bit more backhand.
That's a rip by Burrows right into the body of Fote.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to pick up there. It's only maybe an inch above the net cord.
Smith, the overhead winner off the net cord.
I think a couple of balls there may have been going out, but those guys were so dialed in.
That ball back. It's why the hardest skill in pickleball is actually determining what's in and what's out, right?
Yeah, it's tough, especially in those hands battles, to let those balls go.
Burrows pushes it long way. Did you see Smith change hands in the middle of that?
The little lefty reset there.
That was
from
ridiculous.
Pat Smith. Might have been a better drop than with his right hand.
Smith starting to assert himself here at the kitchen line.
Yeah, good pressure again there from Seattle. SoCal trying to fight it off. Just not able to get a ball down.
Unlucky net cord there for Smith. Leaves an easy put away for SoCal. 1 point game. Tied at 16 after the error from Burrows.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw from Folt and San Clemente. It's that heavy drive that just dives over the net.
Going right into the hip of Burrows for the point.
Yeah, good attack and a good 1-2 combination there from Folt. Reaches in, quick flick with the backhand, sits backhand, and that short punch again. Yikes.
Burrows with a big Ernie.
A little selfie right there. Pushes that behind Klinger and then moves, puts that one away.
If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Time in. 2019.
Oh, Klinger just catches the back of the line.
A little miss hit there from Klinger actually worked out well. I think if he hits that, catches that one cleanly, a ball goes out.
Smith evens things up, going back into the body of Fote.
Yeah, too good there from Smith with a little inside out, change of direction. A couple of times he's reached in, rolled that ball out behind Klinger's backhand. This time reaches in, makes it look like he's going to go cross court again. And just a sleight of hand into the body of Fote.
Error from Fote makes it 19-18 Seattle as the Pioneers trying to even this match up at 1 game apiece.
No!
Klinger hit an out ball, drove his out, and now SoCal wants to take a timeout as Seattle with game point.
Yeah, just a couple of untimely errors there for SoCal. Catching those balls a little late.
Hard eights look like they were on their way to getting blown out of this match, trailing at 1 point, 11-6. Chad, what has impressed you most about their ability to fight back here and make this a close game?
Well, I mean, you can't count it. You can't count out SoCal. They're a good team, and they've gone on some good runs, especially with Fote and that drive and how late of a dip it has once it gets over the net.
Game point. Fote able to fight it off. Point SoCal.
Again, a good reach in there from Fote, using that backhand flick. I do not like that speed up there from Burrows. He's hitting off of a back foot, weight going back. So that ball's elevated.
Through the wickets, Klinger gives SoCal game point.
Burrows hit an out ball right there.
I noticed.
But excellent job from Klinger. Two points in a row. He's had a nice reset and drop into the kitchen, allowed them to get up.
Sorry.
Fote with the reach in, maybe ill-advised there, was apologizing to Klinger.
Well, in that situation, you know, 2 forehands in the middle. I think Fote lets that ball go. Klinger has more reaction time.
Fote tries to speed it up, but catches the net.
Yeah, that one was flatter than the previous reach-ins from Fote.
Gives Seattle game point number 2. Seattle evens this up at 1 game apiece as Pat Smith and Wes Burrows take down Todd Fote and CJ Klinger 23-21.
Yeah, it's a good fight there from SoCal. They had their chances. A good ball there from Burrows at the end, going right into the hip of Todd Fote as he's trying to come up. Jams him up with his feet still moving.
So the match between SoCal and Seattle tied at 1 game apiece after the Hard Eights took women's doubles. The Pioneers come back and take men's doubles. And we're going to take a break for just a few minutes as we get the mixed doubles lineup set. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more action coming up here on Grandstand Court. It's the MLP presented by Margaritaville. Welcome back to Grandstand Court as we are less than a minute away from the start of the mixed doubles games. It will be Megan Fudge and Wes Burrows for the Seattle Pioneers taking on Todd Fote and Yana Newell for SoCal. This match evened up at 1 game apiece. The Hard Eights took women's doubles, the Pioneers taking men's doubles. He's the Atlanta Bouncers head coach Chad Edwards, who's having some issues with his headset.
I just smacked myself in the face with the freaking headset as I was trying to put it on.
I don't know what that was. That was someone else with the court mic, I think.
Hey, stop knocking over our court mics out there.
So Chad, this match tied at 1 game apiece. What is this particular game going to come down to?
You know, for SoCal, I think it's going to be Yana Newell. We saw how good she is in women's doubles with that short, controlled, compact swing and how much pressure that she can put on. That ball lands in as well. Burrows is going to attack her. It's how well she can counterattack and stay in it. And look for Fote to use that heavy topspin drive.
Fote able to come up with the around the post. Fudge was there, but Fote just better.
You know what? I think Fudge moved there to try to throw him off, because there's no way she was going to defend it from that position.
Fote pushes the forehand wide.
Yeah, good spot there from Burrows. I probably wouldn't test that one too much. Fote just a fraction late there.
Nothing but fireworks, nothing but fast hands. We're going to see another clinic.
Fudge went for this speed up but makes the error.
Yeah, Fudge a little late there on the forehand side too, potentially just a little too big. Fote, slight change of direction, just drops that paddle head down on the backhand side, pushes it over.
Couple of net cords, some miscommunication. That point had everything.
Yeah, I would like to see Newell take that one. Fote wasn't quite in position there.
Fudge too big on the forehand.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to speed up there as well. Going at the right shoulder of Newell, that's going to head into the short court.
Newell going for the forehand rip, finds the net instead.
It wasn't quite set up early enough there. Definitely rushed on that third shot drive.
Fote just absolutely teeing off on the overheads.
And me it is. Good spot right through the middle. And it's a good deep ball. That's the difference with a lot of these overheads that come back. It's either get on top of it too much, hit it straight down into the court, so a lot of the pace gets taken off. The good ones either have the angle or deeper, and it kind of slides through the court. But a good speed up there from Burrows into the body of Newell.
Beautiful setup from Newell earns Fote the winner.
Yeah, and she recognizes that her fourth shot is going to sit a little high, so she anticipates that attack. Excellent job counter-attacking, getting on top of it.
Fote tries to speed it up as Seattle able to side out.
Yeah, he was originally going to reach in and take that ball cross court. He decides to change direction with it and flick it down the line.
Misplayed by Burrows. That ball did not come up as he was moving through the transition zone.
It didn't come up, and it looked like it kind of slowed down a little bit as well. Seen a few points in both this one and our previous match.
Burrows getting big at the kitchen line as SoCal extends their lead to 3. And how good is SoCal right now at the kitchen line?
Yeah, I mean, good pressure and good hands. They're staying nice and controlled, nice and compact.
Deep ball by Burrows. Newell can't pick it up. It's the second time that Burrows has apologized. I don't know about you, but if I'm winning the point, I'm not apologizing that much.
He's a nice guy.
Good hands by Megan Fudge in the middle of that rally to earn the point.
Well, that's what Fudge is exceptionally good at, is just resetting balls, keeping in that point. Newell knew that speed up was coming from Burrows' fault. Lost the lead tape on the side of his paddle.
Megan Fudge has talked a lot about really enjoying this moment, 35 years old. She said, I may not get as much time as some of these younger players.
Left foot from Jan and Newell. Just a little too far forward. Yeah, I've heard that same comment from Simone for like the last 5 to 6 years.
You'll believe it when you see it?
Yeah. Simone's now 44.
If it wasn't in the press packet, I would say probably not thrilled with you giving out her age. Newell able to paint the line.
Said it plenty of times.
Nice decision there from Burrows on the backhand.
Yeah, good control there from Burrows. Didn't try to overhit. Change spots.
Oh, Newell, the easy put away. Sends us to the end change with SoCal up 11-9.
I think that one for sure was going out, but Newell's like, you know what? I'm just going to get on top of this one and make sure anyway.
SoCal leading Seattle 11-9 here in the first of 2 mixed doubles games. The hard eights took women's doubles to start things off 21-18 before Seattle battled back in the men's doubles, taking that game 23-21. So this one has been pretty closely contested throughout. Chad, who do you think has the advantage overall, regardless of the fact that it's 11-9 right now?
Well, right now I'd give a slight advantage to SoCal. They're doing a little bit better job as far as putting the pressure on and not overhitting. There are times that Burrows has played extremely well, but there are other times where, you know, trying to do too much, getting too big with the swings. And I think if Seattle's going to stand a chance, he has to kind of rein it in just a little bit.
Hard eights on serve, up 11-9. Fudge really forcing Newell back with a couple of those backhand flicks.
Yeah, good flat balls there from Fudge.
Fote just ripping that ball.
Yeah, and Fudge got pinned back at the baseline there when Burrows got all the way up to the kitchen. Tough ball for her to come forward, though, on that forehand side of Fote.
Side out point 12.
Fote taking something off of that, just rolling it down the middle.
A good reset. An even better roll there from Fote.
That's something we haven't seen from Fote very often, those slower balls. A lot of it's been grip and rip. Fudge long on the forehand.
Should I press there or not? What? Should I press?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. We heard Fudge asking Coach Dave Fleming, should she press there? Ball was up high enough that she can be aggressive, just needs to pick a better target.
Point.
SoCal wins the point as Newell goes back up the middle. But if Fudge is going to press, Chad, where does her target need to be?
Well, that previous ball where she missed deep, I would have liked to see it go behind Fote or into the body. There in that situation where she's going cross court with Jana Newell, she needs to move that ball around a little bit more. She's just going forehand to forehand, and Newell didn't even have to move her feet. Hit 4 or 5 balls cross court there, and then that change of direction back through the middle.
Newell, 25 years old, initially out of Vladimir, Russia, lives in Kansas City, Missouri with her husband, Ben Newell. Says her dream is to play pickleball with Roger Federer, but it looks like she's playing pretty well right now with Todd Fote.
I think everybody wants to see Federer out on a pickleball court.
I'd take that. I'm sure the backhand would transition well. SoCal leading 15-10. 16-10 after Burrows sends the return long.
You got it.
Another ball sails long, and now it's danger time for the Pioneers as SoCal closing in on this game.
Excellent job there from Jana Newell, applying the pressure and then letting that ball go.
Good angle there from Burrows. Fote not able to track it down.
We got a big timeout right now. 15-9, Emmerich Nunnery leading it. I'm sitting here right now.
Nice construction, easy put away for Fote.
Just too big with that forehand there from Fote. And he hooks that ball, he lays the wrist back, gets on top and just rips.
Awesome action. Can't believe it, actually.
No.
Good decision by Fudge to let that ball go.
And a good counter from Burrows as well. Fote again being aggressive. Burrows counters it right into the right hip. Fote gets jammed up.
Fote just catching the line with the put away.
Do you look at the ball?
And Fudge trying to do
You check the ball?
open face drop right there.
19-12.
Right in. 59.
Oh, Newell just flips it down with the forehand for the winner.
Yeah, giving way too many options there to Newell.
Right out point 10.
That brings up game point for the Hard Eights, up 20-12 here over the Seattle Pioneers in the first of 2 mixed doubles games.
Jana Newell,
Doing everything.
get out.
Yana Newell coming up big as she and Todd Fote take down Wes Burrows and Megan Fudge. At times this game felt closer than the final score, but really dominated start to finish by SoCal.
Well, I did say Yana Newell was going to be my X factor for this one.
I'll give you credit for that. Yes, you did.
Fantastic job there from SoCal. Burrows setting up some really nice balls, and then Yana Newell, she changed her spots down the stretch, staying in that cross-court dink, and then a couple of speed ups through the middle, speed up down the line.
SoCal taking the 2-game-to-1 lead as we head into the final mixed doubles match. It's going to be Pat Smith and Lena Padiga-Maite going up against CJ Klinger and Ava Radzikowska. Radzikowska able to take the women's doubles with Yana Newell.
We may end up with a dream breaker here.
You think we could go to a dream breaker?
I think we may end up with a dream breaker here. I may give the slight edge to Smith and Padiga-Maite.
Why?
Just because of the control of Smith in the middle of the court. But what it's going to come down to is if Padiga-Maite gets targeted like she did in women's doubles, she needs to be able to shorten up the swing, stay more compact to be able to fight off some of these attacks. If she gets big, then she's going to be in trouble.
If this match indeed does go to a dream breaker, it would be our first dream breaker here on Grandstand Court of Season 2. The first match was taken 3-games-to-1 by the New York Hustlers over the Milwaukee Mashers. I don't know, Chad, there is such a thing as a broadcaster curse. Is there a broadcaster speak into existence?
Nah.
No?
Nah. Whatever I say doesn't come true.
I am so glad then that you're here as the analyst explaining why things are important.
Well, sometimes they listen to that. I'm saying my predictions of who's going to win.
Radzikowska and Newell very in control of that women's doubles match. What is Radzikowska's biggest skill set that's going to apply here to this mixed doubles match?
Well, right here, she's going to be going cross-court with Pat Smith. So she has to be right on point with these backhand rolls. She rolls that backhand a little bit more than hitting an open face slice dink. If that ball stays up just a little bit, Smith is going to go on the attack.
Smith had moments of dominance in the men's doubles match, he and Wes Burrows. Topping Todd Fote and CJ Klinger 23-21.
Oh, wow, sorry.
Smith the replacement for Brandon French. As we mentioned, not initially drafted, with a little something to prove here. And Chad, you talked about this earlier, but all the players here on the challenger level with something to prove, trying to play for money, trying to play to move up to the premier level. There's a lot on the line, more than just matches.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody wants to play premier.
Premier matches will start tomorrow here in Atlanta. Day 1, all challenger play. After this match, the SoCal Hard Eights get an hour off. They take on the St. Louis Shock, who are in action over on Championship Court right now.
So I was just thinking, if I say premier with an Australian accent, nobody would understand what I was saying. Because we say premier.
I would understand you, but that's because I've worked with you before. I feel like I've seen enough advertisements.
It's the Premier League.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I've heard that enough when it comes to soccer.
Yes.
Yeah, I would know. I got you. Am I your Australian to English translator?
Yeah, there we go. Which I have had a couple of times.
We'll just get you subtitles to go out.
Oh, the subtitle never understands what I'm saying anyway. It's almost like the speak to text on the phone.
Oh, I can imagine that would be disastrous for you.
Especially with an R. Doesn't quite work.
Seattle to serve first. Radzikowska trying to slide out of the way, but got caught on that hip.
Yeah, good drive there from Pidigamite. I'm going to say Radzikowska is probably going to see a steady stream of aggressive drives coming at her.
Ball left up too high for Klinger.
Do not like that from Pidigamite, though. Not a good place to be speeding up from, and not a good ball to speed up.
Side out, point 21.
Radzikowska going right after Pat Smith, saying, I'm not afraid of you.
Oh, a couple of good resets there from Smith, but he had a steady stream of balls coming hard at him.
Radzikowska puts that away for the point.
Yeah, Pidigamite not able to get these balls down. It's a continuation from women's doubles. Almost every ball she tries to reset there. Paddle face is open. She's popping it up.
Radzikowska got a little big there at the kitchen line. Point Seattle.
I missed an easy one there. A little bit of Busta Rhymes going on in the background.
I heard it.
I'm not going to even attempt to sing it, though.
No one wants that. Maybe the people do in your Australian accent. I don't know.
No. Oh.
Smith goes right into the body, literally, of Radzikowska.
Yeah, good step over there and a good spot. Radzikowska trying to get out of the way. Nothing she can do. Takes that one straight off the chest.
Targeting the shoulder. 3-all. Little miscommunication between Smith and Pidigamite. Seattle trying to force a dream breaker here on grandstand court. Pidigamite on the forehand side drops it in the net.
Yeah, there's too much foot movement there for Pidigamite. Not set while she's trying to hit.
Pat Smith starting to get into it, and if you're SoCal, that's not the person that you really want to be engaged.
No, and it's a good step over there from CJ Klinger, but just needs to do a little bit more with that forehand.
Nope.
Ooh.
Just long.
Was it?
There's not any argument from SoCal. 5-all. Klinger able to put that one away. You can't leave a ball like that up for him.
Yikes. Yeah, that was not the best beat up there from Pat Smith.
Klinger stuck in transition, can't come up with a pick.
There's a lot of communication going on between you guys the entire night long. What about this partnership is working so well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Got him.
How about the vision there from Klinger to get the point?
Smith moved just a little too soon here. Crashes hard middle. Klinger's like, no, I'll take that from behind me and just roll it back.
Little yoink action.
Yeah.
Yoink. Got to do it with the effect on the voice.
Just like that, 2-0 St. Louis.
Smith says, thank you very much. I'll put it away.
Yeah, it's a good, oh my goodness gracious. That is a good spot speed up there from Pat Smith.
I can't translate that for you.
That one not so much. Padiga Maite fully extended, off balance. Just feeds an easy backhand there to Radzikowska.
Radzikowska not going to miss many of those. Gives SoCal an 8-7 lead. Oh, Padiga Maite let it go, but Klinger drops it in. Nine, 7. Smith finding spots to get points, really targeting that hip of Klinger.
Yeah, it's a good spot there from Smith. That left side from the left hip to the left armpit.
Right into
Number
the body.
2.
Yep. There have been a lot of body shots in this game already.
Well, when you leave a ball up like this one, not much else that you can do there if you're Radzikowska.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first mixed matchup. The LA Mad Drops. We're playing a hot hand, figuring out game cardio.
Radzikowska trying to get a little bit too fine with it, moving away, and makes the error.
She tried to clear herself, sliding to the left. That elbow was already back behind the body.
Another point for Smith. 10-9 was Seattle's first lead since it was 1-0 to start off this game.
Yeah, good adjustment there from the Pioneers. A couple of good spots on the left side of CJ Klinger's body and a couple of good balls into the body of Radzikowska.
We go into the end change with Seattle up 11-9. Padiga Maite was the person that you mentioned coming into this game. Thought she would see a lot of balls. She has. What does she need to do when she's facing that onslaught coming from SoCal?
Take those balls out in front a little bit sooner. Once the ball gets close to the body or it's down at the feet, those are the balls that are popping up for her. When she's able to take it out in front, just block and reset, those balls stay down, give them a chance. The good adjustment that the Pioneers made toward the end there, were going into the body of Radzikowska, not giving her anything fully extended that she can pull Smith back out wide, being able to kind of keep those balls a little bit more middle. It's given Smith the opportunity to attack both Klinger and Radzikowska.
Smith, backhand flick winner.
Radzikowska can't try to go back cross court with that ball once she's pulled out wide.
Where does Radzikowska need to go with that ball?
Yeah, it's either into the body of Padiga Maite, even a little bit more middle ball, and Smith takes it. But trying to go that wide with the cross court just opens up the middle. Smith was all over it.
Can't believe he missed it.
1-1.
Padiga Maite pushes the forehand wide, and now SoCal back within one.
Oh, good
Klinger, are you
move.
kidding?
Good move there from Klinger. You see Radzikowska goes right into the body of Padiga Maite. She doesn't clear herself, doesn't get that ball out in front.
Start out point 2.
Padiga Maite makes another error as now SoCal taking the lead here. 13-12, trying to close out this match.
Side out, point 3.
Razakowska just puts it away off the forehand.
Yeah, you can see the pressure from Padiga Maite right now. She's tense, she's tight. You're seeing those balls when they get close. She's trying to roll them, but they're not doing anything. They're just sitting up.
After trailing at the end change 11-9, SoCal coming out, applying more pressure. What's worked for the hard eights here over the last couple points?
Well, they've gone back to targeting Padiga Maite, getting the balls into the body, in between the feet, and she's not able to fight them off.
Seattle needs this game to send this match into a dream breaker after SoCal won women's doubles. Pioneers came back, took men's doubles. Hard eights won the first of the mixed doubles, trying to close it out. Start off Group C play with a win. Padiga Maite getting a little bit of payback going right in the body.
Good speed up there from Padiga Maite, right into the belt of Razakowska. Smith's off balance on that drive. Needs to do a better job setting his feet up.
15-13. Unlucky tip off the tape for Smith, makes it a 3-point advantage for the hard eights.
Standing a little too tall there for Smith. Oh. Sliding that one down the line behind Pat Smith.
Point.
Just wide.
SoCal is going.
Well, they've got 3 challenges. You're at this point, you might as well.
Padiga Maite called it.
But I definitely think it was not even a challengeable ball with how wide it was. But I could be wrong. I'm wrong quite often.
Side out, point 9.
Well, I mean, it's a challengeable ball.
Challengeable ball. I mean, technically can't anything be a challengeable ball?
Well, I thought it was much wider than that. Yeah, I mean, it's still wide, but I thought it was much wider than that.
And the margin's so slim here on grandstand court. Padiga Maite called it out. Razakowska said she wasn't sure, but Klinger said we have 3. You might as well use one here.
Yeah.
Doesn't really hurt you if you lose.
Side out, point 10.
Where's the ball bounce? Right there. Whew, that's close.
That is close. Video ref Bob Swisshelm conferring with lead referee Anisha Smith and
Oh, he just stepped on his sandwich too. Bob, what are you stepping on your sandwich for? Oh.
The call will stand. The ball was out, so SoCal loses a video challenge. Seattle on serve, trailing by 3.
Side out, point 11, timeout, 1 minute 15, 11-8.
Oh.
Radzikowska just...
Padigamite got away with one right there. That ball sat up way too high. Radzikowska hits top of it.
Good decision by Klinger to get that overhead out wide. 18-15. Another easy ball to put away for Klinger. And SoCal closing in on the match.
Klinger right there. Both feet off the ground, hitting that forehand. Oh, Smith gets called for a left foot violation.
The violation gives SoCal match point up 20-15. Smith sends it long, and SoCal takes the match over the Seattle Pioneers as Klinger and Radzikowska win the second mixed doubles game 21-15.
Well, my prediction was wrong, but in reality, I just wanted to see a dream breaker.
Can only ask for so much, Jeff.
Now, well done there by Radzikowska and Klinger. Padigamite and Smith had the advantage and the lead going into the end change, but Radzikowska and Klinger playing clean, playing consistent, creating the pop-ups, and we're able to close this one out.
SoCal takes their opening match over the Seattle Pioneers. They start off Group C with a win. They will face the St. Louis Shock next. Coming up next here on Grandstand Court, it's the Las Vegas Night Owls taking on the Austin Pickleballers. That match still ahead. Don't go anywhere. There is plenty more from day one of season 2. It's MLP presented by Margaritaville.